Hey guys, it's Dr. Sam Robbins. Today I'm going to talk about 8 proven ways for you to stop that nighttime peeing called nocturia. Now, this is specifically for men, but it does also affect women. I know a few years ago, I was getting up 2 or 3 times a night to go pee, and I made the following changes, and now I go only once. And that's important for me because if I get up and you go pee, I sometimes have a really hard time going back to sleep. I think my brain starts thinking about other things, or maybe some light triggers it and I'm like wide awake. So this is really important for your better sleep. But also, if you are peeing a lot during the night, it could be problems causing, problems with hormonal or prostate or diabetes or something. So let's discuss the 8 ways. The first one is control the liquids that you have. A lot of us, I used to go have this protein shake before bed, which obviously that's a whole cup of water. I used to take all my, nighttime vitamins and stuff right before bed and maybe half an hour. And that was another cup of water. So I stopped doing that. Basically, I became a lot more cognizant of the liquids that I was having near bedtime, at least 2-3 hours before. I tried to limit or eliminate any kind of liquid. Now, I know people will say, hey, don't drink anything after 4 p.m. And I'm like, that's 7-8 hours of you not drinking any water or any liquid. And for me, that's difficult, but at least 2 or 3 hours. And there's another way I'll tell you that can improve that even more. The other thing you want to do is limit anything that's a diuretic that just gets rid of water. Coffee and tea and alcohol, especially trying to eliminate, 2-3 hours before bed. Obviously, you also want to eliminate those foods, those drinks, coffee and so forth, because they do have alcohol, because they do going to cause sleep disturbances, whether it's the caffeine or just alcohol. Now, there's also diuretics from supplements such as potassium and dandelion root extract, parsley and uva ursi. These are also natural diuretics. So make sure you take a look at the vitamins that you're taking, that you're not taking any of those close to bedtime. Another reason is prostate enlargement or benign prostatic hyperplasia. As men, we get older, the prostate is going to grow just because of aging, but also because of hormonal imbalances. So the first thing you want to do is you want to do a blood test. You want to check your PSA, prostate-specific antigen. You also might want to do a prostate exam to double check that things haven't grown or inflamed. Sometimes the PSA will be normal, but a prostate exam will show something else. Now, the prostate growth happens due to actually lower testosterone levels, okay, but higher estrogen and DHT. So, the opposite, when you're young, you have high testosterone and lower DHT and estrogen, your prostate's fine. But as you get older, the testosterone tends to drop. And ironically, there's a difference in the ratio. So you have more estrogen and DHT, and estrogen is really bad for your prostate. So you want to make sure those hormones are optimized. Below, I'll put information in the description area on how you can increase your testosterone levels while optimizing different hormones, whether you take supplements or herbs or minerals or things like that. But you want to do is you also can take things that improve it with Flomax is one that I know my dad used to take that increases prostate shrinkage, so urine is better. You can also take drugs such as finasteride, but that does tend to have sexual side effects. So keep that in mind. And that does increase estrogen levels. So I wouldn't mess with that. But if you wanted to take drugs, I would probably consider taking Flomax first. Another reason that you end up peeing at night is there's a decline in the antidiuretic hormone. It's called vasopressin. Most people don't know about this, but your body, as you get older, it has less of this antidiuretic hormone. So it's very high in children and young people, so they don't need to get up and pee. But that basically, as it gets lower and lower as you get older, your body just releases and doesn't want to hold on to the water. So that increases nighttime urination. Now, this is something that can be improved by lowering cortisol levels. That improves the antidiuretic hormone. The other thing you want to do is you can take a drug called desmopressin, which is a prescription drug for this. But one problem as, again, we get older is just the hormones change. For example, when you're younger, you also have higher growth hormone levels. That improves your your body holding on to water. As the hormone drops and antidiuretic hormones drop, you end up just peeing a lot. It's not really even your fault, even if you're not drinking any more water. So there is that balance. And another thing you want to do is you want to increase sodium intake. I mentioned this, when we're younger, your body naturally holds on to more water because of the hormones. Most people they're drinking maybe too much water and not enough sodium, or they're having too much sodium and not enough water. Ideally, you want to increase your water intake to flush out toxins and all that, but you also want to add in salt. I start the day with a big cup of water and I pour salt on there. And the reason for all this is you want the water and the salt, it helps absorb it. A lot of people will say, hey, the more I drink water, I end up just peeing it all out. And that's because it's not being absorbed. So add some more salt into your diet. And as far as blood pressure, it's usually not the problem, especially if you do drink enough water. Another problem is high blood sugar levels. High insulin and blood sugar tends to cause more urination. In fact, this is a problem, one symptom or indicator that you have diabetes. Like when I was younger, I used to pee a lot. The doctor thought I had diabetes and I didn't, but that's one problem. So you want to make sure you test your blood sugar levels when you do a blood test, and also your A1C levels. Another issue is if you have kidney problems, because during the day, the fluid retention goes on, and then at night, your kidneys process it and increases urination. So you should do a blood test and check your creatinine levels and also your cystatin C levels to make sure that your kidneys are healthy. Remember, if you're dehydrated, your blood gets thicker, and that puts more stress on your kidneys. So that's why it's so important to always be hydrated and have enough sodium and some potassium and magnesium to keep the electrolytes balanced and to keep your blood viscosity good to help keep your kidneys healthy. Now, another thing that improves your urination is bladder training and pelvic floor exercise. So strengthening your pelvic muscles by doing Kegel exercises will improve bladder control. And another really awesome tip is you want to hold your urine and hold your pee as much as you can, as long as you can, not until it's a point that's super uncomfortable or unhealthy. But the longer you can keep your bladder holding it, right, the longer your body learns and gets trained to just hold it. So for example, I used to just, the minute I needed to go pee, I'd go pee, right? And then the more often I peed, the more often I needed to pee. Then little by little, I started training it. If I needed to go pee, I'd say, no, I'm going to hold on to it. And nothing happened. I kept it for another half hour, maybe another hour, because I just got busy doing something else. And then I'd go pee and a lot came out. And then over time, especially as the night goes on, I try to hold it as long as possible, again, without causing harm or damage or any of that stuff. But the longer I can hold it, it trains my body that, hey, I can hold it longer. So the more often you go, the more often your body wants to go. The less often you go, the longer you can hold it. Then when you do go, it's like this huge long stream. So maybe instead of going 3 times a night, you go once a night. So that's a really important factor that I've done over the years that's really made dramatic improvements. So in summary, don't drink too close to bedtime, which is obvious. Add more salt to absorb your liquids. Try not to have anything that acts as a diuretic, alcohol or coffee or tea close to bedtime. Do blood tests for kidney health and your prostate function. Most importantly, you want to increase testosterone levels while decreasing estrogen, DHT, and cortisol to have healthy prostate function. This is really important. You want to do the opposite of as we're getting older, you want to improve your testosterone levels. I've got more additional information about all this below in the description area. And let me know your questions and comments. I hope this was helpful. Thanks and have a great day.